Alright, let's take another look at solving a triangle. This is another oblique triangle without a 90-degree angle in it. This time we're going to look at a triangle that involves solving with the law of cosines. So the first thing we're going to do is get a quick picture of what they've given us. And they've given us an angle B, which is 133 degrees, and two sides A and side C. So let's go ahead and sketch a picture of this triangle, and I'm going to draw in this 133 degree angle right here. It's obtuse angle. That's angle B in my drawing. And of course we got angle A and angle C, and you can label those however you like. Now with that being angle B, we got side A given. Now, side A would be the side opposite angle A. So this side here would be 12 units in length, and of course side C would be the side opposite angle C, so 15 is the side here. Now you see what type of triangle we have. We've got a side, angle, side. So this is a side, angle, side triangle. So with that said, law of sines would not help us in finding our unknowns at this point. It'd be too many unknowns to set up a proportion in which the sides are proportional to the sines of the opposite angles. But we can use the law of cosines that we've looked at. Alright, and we'll go over that as we work through the problem. Now, law of cosines can be used on side, angle, side, and side, side, side triangles. If they give you three sides, you can solve it with law of cosines. So remember, angle, angle, side angle, side angle is law of sines. So as we're looking at it, let's go find the missing pieces. So let's talk about what we need to get. We need side B, right? Side B is unknown. And of course, angle A and angle C. So those are the three unknowns in this problem, right, that we're looking for. What does B equal? And what does angle A equal? And what does angle C equal? So again, capital letters for the angles, small letters for the sides. All right, well, let's go find side B. So let's find this side. So here's where law of cosines comes into play. So law of cosine states you can pick a side, any side. So I'll pick side B as I'm trying to find B. The square of that side always equal the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So that would be sides A, right, and side C. So side A is 12 units in length, 12 squared, plus side C, which is 15 units in length, so 15 squared, minus twice their product, so minus 2 times 12 times 15 times the cosine of the angle opposite side B, which is angle B, so 133 degrees. That's our law of cosines. Pick any side, and it's equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides minus twice their product times the cosine of the angle opposite. And we've proven that earlier. You can look in my notes to see the proof. With that said, let's go ahead and find B. So to find B, right, we've got to get B from B squared. We'll take the square root of both sides. As we're doing that, of course, we're looking at the positive square root, not the negative, so side length. So B is equal to the square root, right, of 12 squared plus 15 squared minus 2 times 12 times 15 times the cosine of 133 degrees. And let's go ahead and round it to the nearest whole number, right, as we plug that into our calculator. So we can get our calculator out, and we'll plug that in together. So let's go look at it here on our TI. So we'll put in the square root, and let's type this in here. So 12 squared plus 15 squared minus twice the product, 2 times 12 times 15 times the cosine of 133. And again, that's in degrees. So as we hit the enter button, we get 24.7. So 24.7, of course, we're rounding the nearest whole number, 25 units, right, in length. So again, this would be 25 units, side B. So there is 1/3 of our solution. So side B, right, is 25 units. Now let's go find our angles. So to get an angle, right, let's look at example A, angle A. So let's go state our law. So with that, in finding A, we're going to need to use side A, side opposite angle A. So A squared, right, which is equal to B squared, the other sum of the squares of the other two sides, minus twice their product times the cosine of the angle opposite. So as we plug in that information, that's 12 squared equal to B, which we just found, 25 squared, plus C squared, which is 15, minus twice their product, 2 times 25 times 15, times the cosine of angle A, which is our unknown. We don't know A, so we've got to find angle A there. So with that, that's our variable. We've got an equation, one unknown, that unknown being the angle measurement. Now we've got to do a little bit of algebra, right? We've got to solve this together for A. We've got to isolate A. So let's go ahead and do that together. Let's go ahead and subtract, right, these two terms over to the other side of the equation. Right, so that will give us what? 12 squared minus 25 squared minus 15 squared, right, equal to negative 2 times 25 times 15 times the cosine of A. And then we got to get rid of the coefficients. So let's go ahead and divide those out. So we can divide those out on both sides, right, to get rid of those. So as we do that, we got negative 2 times 25 times 15. So now we found cosine of A. So what does the cosine of A equal? It equals this fraction here, 12 squared minus 25 squared minus 15 squared over negative 2 times 25 times 15. Now that's the cosine of A. So what would A equal? So A would equal the cosine inverse, right? So we can swap these out, right? Interchange with inverse characteristics. So cosine inverse of 12 squared minus 25 squared minus 15 squared divided by negative 2 times 25 times 15. And let's go ahead and plug that in our calculator and see what we come up with in this angle measurement. And again, remember this in degrees. We'll do the nearest whole number based on what they've given us. So let's go type that in. All right, so what do we get as we type in, again, this, right? So remember, here's our fraction again with the inverse function we're trying to type in, and we'll do that together now. So as we type in cosine inverse, hit the second button, cosine key on our TI, there's cosine inverse, and we'll type it in just like I had it. So remember, we had a numerator, so I'm going to put the numerator in parentheses. On a TI, I've got to be careful with these fractions. So make sure it all knows this is a numerator. 12 squared minus 25 squared minus 15 squared, and let's close out the numerator terms. Divided by, I'm going to do the same thing with the denominator. Let's put all those in parentheses. Negative 2 times 25 times 15, and close it, and then close out the inverse function. And we'll hit enter. And so as we do that, right, we get 19.7, so what, 20 degrees? So cosine inverse, right, we come up with 20 degrees. So we round to the nearest whole number. So 20 degrees for that angle measurement. So that's angle A, right? We can go back up here and label that. So now we've got 2/3 of our unknowns. So the only thing left is angle C. So what will angle C equal? Well, angle C is going to be 180 minus the sum of the two that we already know. 133 plus 20. Right, which is equal to 180 minus what, 155? I'm sorry, 153. So we add 20 to it. And what's 180 minus 153? That's 27 degrees. So 180 minus 153 is 27. So there's angle C. So we got our third measurement. So now we got what? All three. So we got side B. Side B being 25 units in length. We got angle A, 20 degrees, which we found with all cosines. And now I use geometry. We know the three angles got to add to 180. So we add those two up, right? 133 degrees for angle B and 20 degrees for A. Subtracted 180 and got 27 degrees. Of course, you could use all cosines to find angle C if you wanted. You could even use all the sines at that point because you have enough information to set up your proportion.